There is a place in West Africa where the river speaks before the rain arrives, where the Irako tree bends before the wind begins, where the old ones say that some truths are too heavy for the living to carry alone, so the earth carries them instead. This is the legend of Ajanaku, a village that remembered tomorrow, and the night that memory became a curse. The screams came first, then the blood, then silence. Baba Femi lay motionless beneath the ancient Irako tree at the very center of Ajanaku Village. The moonlight fell across the red earth, illuminating everything. The old man's walking stick, broken beside him. His eyes, wide open, staring into nothing. Empty, lifeless. Then a young woman pushed through the crowd. She dropped to her knees in the red soil. Her hands reached toward the man on the ground.
Father, no. Somebody help him, please. Somebody help him.
The body felt cold. Too cold. The kind of cold that tells you it is already too late. Then the wind came. Without warning. Without reason. The branches of the great Irako tree shook violently above them, as though the tree itself was recoiling from what lay beneath it. Then the village bell began ringing. By itself. Once. Twice. 3 times. Then darkness swallowed everything. Amina sat upright with a scream caught in her throat. Her chest heaved. Her hands gripped the woven mat beneath her. She looked around her hut, the clay walls, the hanging herbs, the dim glow of dying embers. Her father's spare walking stick, leaning quietly in the corner. The murder was gone. The crowd was gone. The blood was gone. It had been a dream. At least she told herself it was. Until she heard the screaming outside. To understand why what happened next would destroy Amina more than anyone else in Ajanaku, you first need to understand who she was before that morning changed everything. She is 24 years old, the daughter of the most respected herbalist in the region, a young woman who had grown up between 2 worlds, the ancient knowledge her father carried, and the questions she could never stop asking. From the time she was a small girl, Amina had followed Baba Femi through the forest at dawn. He had taught her to read the earth the way other fathers teach their daughters to read books. He had shown her that every living thing carried information, if only you knew how to listen. What she had not known was that her father was also reading people the same way, quietly, carefully, for years, and what he had found had put both their lives in danger. But on the morning of the first memory, Amina did not know any of that yet. She only knew one thing. The screaming outside sounded exactly like her dream. She rushed from her hut into a morning that felt wrong in ways she could not explain. The light too pale, the air too still, the sounds too sharp. Villagers ran toward the central square, fear painted across every face. Then she began hearing fragments of conversation that made her slow down.
He was under the Iroko tree. I saw it clearly. He was under the tree. There was blood everywhere. The ground was red. I could not look away.
The bell rang by itself 3 times. Did you hear it 3 times? Those are the exact same words from my dream.
Details she had told nobody. Details that were impossible for anyone else to know. Yet somehow, everyone knew them. Chief Adekunle stood on the raised village platform, his ceremonial robes catching the morning light. A man of measured words and steady presence. A man the village trusted completely. That morning, for the first time Amina could remember, his face looked troubled.
Why is everyone gathered? Speak! Someone explain this. Chief, we all saw it, all of us, in the night. Saw what exactly? The murder, Chief. Baba Femi, the knife, the blood. I saw it too. Every detail, exactly as he says.
So did I.
These were only dreams. The mind plays strange tricks in the night. No.
The single word came without force, without volume, yet it silenced every voice in the square. Everyone turned. He stood at the edge of the crowd, alive, unhurt, leaning on his walking stick. The crowd gasped. Several stumbled backward. A woman screamed before catching herself. Amina felt something flood through her chest, relief so powerful it nearly brought her to her knees. Her father was alive. She almost ran to him. Then she stopped. Because she knew his face better than she knew anything in the world. And what she saw on it was not relief, not surprise, not confusion. It was the expression of a man who had been expecting this. A man who had been dreading this. For a very long time.
What do you mean, Baba Femi? Those were not dreams, Chief. They were memories. Memories of what? Tomorrow.
The silence that followed felt heavier than stone. Nobody laughed. Nobody challenged him. Nobody smiled. Because deep in the marrow of every person standing in that square, something very old and very certain was saying the same thing. He was telling the truth. By mid-morning, fear had moved through the village the way smoke moves through a closed room. Slowly at first, then everywhere at once. Farmers abandoned their fields mid-furrow. Market women packed their wares without selling. Children were called inside and doors pulled shut in the middle of the day. Because every person in Ajanaku was grappling with the same unbearable question. If they had all seen the future together, if the murder was real, then who among them was the killer? Amina sat in the shade outside Baba Femi's hut and watched him the way she used to watch the sky before the rains. Looking for signs, reading patterns, waiting for something to reveal itself. He moved through his morning rituals with practiced calm, sharpening dried herbs, sorting roots, checking clay pots. Everything normal, everything ordinary, except his hands. Once, while grinding a root into powder, he stopped. Just for a moment. A pause so brief a stranger would have missed it. His eyes went somewhere far away. His jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. Amina had seen that pause only once before. The night her mother died.
Father, do you know something about what is happening?
Everyone knows something.
You know what I mean. Why were you not surprised this morning? When the whole village was terrified, you looked like a man who had been waiting for this exactly.
When a storm is approaching, the wise man is not surprised by thunder.
That is not an answer, Father.
Some things begin long before people notice them, Amina. That is all I will say for now. I need to visit River.
The river? Father, why the river?
She watched him disappear into the trees and felt the first cold thread of true fear settle around her heart. Not fear of the memories, fear of what her father already knew. By late afternoon, the village received its first terrifying confirmation that the memories were not simply dreams. A goat escaped from its pen near the eastern market. It ran through the village square in a panicked circle. It knocked over a clay pot near Mama Tola's doorway. Then it turned left toward the meeting hall, then right toward the river path. Then it stopped near the base of the Irako tree, trembling. 3 separate villagers froze at the same instant. Then 5 more. Then a dozen. They had seen this. Every turn, every stumble, every pause, exactly as it had appeared in the collective dream. Word spread immediately. The memories were coming true. Panic is a strange creature. It does not announce itself. It simply arrives, in the body first, in the mind second. And by sundown, panic had made its home in Ajanaku. When dawn arrived the following morning, it brought another memory with it. This one was different. Longer, sharper, more detailed, as though whatever force was sending these visions had grown more confident overnight. The villagers remembered standing at the edge of the sacred river. They remembered watching 2 figures face each other near the water. The argument between them was fierce. Words flew like thrown stones. One figure was unmistakable, Baba Femi, older looking than he appeared now. His walking stick pressed into the earth before him like a man preparing to hold his ground. The other figure's face remained hidden in shadow. And then the memory ended. Just like that. Severed. Incomplete. As though the truth could only had made him disappear, and whoever was responsible would do anything to keep that truth buried. She heard the footsteps too late. The door was already open. Baba Femi stood in the entrance. He looked at her, then at the floorboard, then at her again. The silence between a parent and child who both know what the other has just done is a particular kind of silence. It carries everything unsaid over years.
You opened it.
You should have told me.
I wanted to. I have wanted to for a long time.
Why didn't you?
Because every answer creates a new danger. And I was not ready to put you in that danger.
I am not a child anymore, Father.
No, you are not. If anything happens to me, Amina, trust nobody.
What do you mean?
Not even the chief.
Not even Balogun?
Especially not Balogun.
Stay here.
Father.
But she followed anyway, because some truths, once they begin moving, cannot be stopped. The third memory had come that morning, and this one shook the village to its foundation. In the vision, the villagers had stood near the old hill beyond the forest. They had watched someone dig. They had seen what the earth revealed. Human bones. Chief Adekunle gave the order to dig. The work began. An hour passed. Then 2. The sun climbed above the trees. The crowd waited in silence. Then a farmer's shovel struck something hard. Carefully, with hands now instead of tools, they cleared the soil. A bone emerged. Then another. Then a ribcage. Then a skull. The memory had been right. Beside the skeleton lay a gold necklace. Simple. Handmade. The kind a craftsman makes with patience and love rather than speed. Then an elderly woman at the back of the crowd made a sound that stopped everyone cold. Not a scream. Something worse. The sound of a mother who has spent 25 years waiting for an answer.
I know that necklace. It belongs to my son, my boy.
The silence that followed was the most complete silence Ajanaku had ever known. One of the diggers found the leather pouch while clearing the last of the soil. Inside was a journal. Old, damaged, but readable. Chief Adekunle opened it with hands that were not entirely steady.
Today, Balogun and I discovered gold beneath the hill. We promised to share everything equally. Balogun says nobody should know yet. He says we must be careful. He says to trust him. I trust him like a brother.
A stillness fell across the hill. Every eye turned toward the place in the crowd where Balogun had been standing. He was gone. He had been running for 25 years. Not in the way that requires moving between places. In the way that requires constant maintenance. Every morning choosing to be the man the village believed he was. Every night lying in the dark with the man he actually was. Now the dead had returned, and the village was digging up everything. Then came the knock at his door. He opened it. Nobody stood outside. Only a piece of paper on the ground. 5 words. I remember what you did. Balogun staggered backward. He looked in every direction. The yard was empty. The shadows were still. But somewhere in the dark, something had been watching him for a very long time, and it was no longer content to wait. The fourth memory arrived differently from the others. Not at dawn, not while people slept. In the middle of the afternoon, as though it had grown impatient. And when it came differently. The Irako tree was still there. The red laterite earth. The heavy air. The silence of a village holding its breath. But this time there was no dead body. This time, there was Amina. Alive, backing away from something the memory would not fully show. Her face caught in a moment of pure terror. Her copper bangle catching the last of the light. Her back pressed against the great root of the Irako tree with nowhere left to go. And a shadow, closing in. Deliberate, unhurried, certain. Then the memory cut. The way a flame cuts when the wind takes it. No ending, no resolution. Only the question of what happens next, left open, unanswered, inside every mind in Ajanaku.
The memory changed, my daughter.
Changed how?
They saw you beneath the tree. You were afraid. You were backed against the tree. There was someone coming toward you. It just stopped. Nobody saw what happened after. It did not show you dead, child, but it showed you in danger. Real danger. And nobody in this village is sleeping easy right now.
The memories show what is coming, not what is finished. Which means this has not happened yet. Someone intends to stop me. Which means someone already knows what I have been doing and they are preparing to stop it. Then I have to find the truth before they find me.
Babatunde found her that evening as the light began to fail. Ajanaku's most reliable hunter, a young man of few words and precise observations.
Someone has been visiting the sacred river at night. I tried to follow them twice. Both times they disappeared before I could get close enough to see their face.
Why does that matter?
Because I have a strong feeling that the river is connected to whatever is sending these visions. I think we need to go there, tonight.
That night, while the village held its breath behind locked doors, they made their way through the dark to the sacred river. The forest around them was wrong, too quiet. Even the insects had gone silent. Every footstep felt too loud, every shadow too deep. Then they saw the light, faint, moving between the trees ahead. They slowed, moved carefully, one step at a time, until they could see the figure, standing at the water's edge, still, silent, watching the surface of the river as though reading something written in the current. The figure, without turning, spoke as though he had sensed their presence from the moment they entered the forest. Breaking the silence with unsettling calm, he said, "You should not be here." The figure slowly turned toward Babatunde and Amina standing behind him. The moment his face emerged, Babatunde instinctively stepped backward. Beside him, Amina froze. Neither could look away. The truth was impossible to deny. The face before them was Adekule's. The same eyes. The same unmistakable scar above the left eyebrow. The same face they had known. And yet, it could not be possible. Chief Adekunle stepped out of the shadows nearby. He had already been there, hidden within the darkness along the riverbank. The sight before him drained the color from his face. His eyes locked onto the stranger. Recognition overwhelmed him. "Adekunle," Chief Adekunle whispered, in shock and disbelief. The torn piece of cloth he had been holding slipped from his fingers and fell to the ground unnoticed. The stranger slowly shook his head. Something ancient lingered behind his calm eyes. "No, I am only the face of a memory," the stranger said. Then he turned his gaze toward the river. "But memories can be more powerful than the living." For a moment, no one spoke. Then Amina finally found her voice. "Who are you?" she asked. "What do you want from us?" The stranger looked directly at her. "I am what remains when justice is left unfinished." A brief silence followed. Then he raised a hand and pointed toward the village. "You should return. Tomorrow is changing again." Amina took a step forward. "Changing how? Tell me." The stranger's expression darkened. "The fear is becoming the thing itself," he said. "If it is not stopped, the memories will no longer be warnings. They will be instructions." Then he began stepping backward toward the shadows, never taking his eyes off them. "The truth is closer than you know. Find it before the village destroys itself, trying to escape it." Amina rushed forward. "Wait," she called after him. "Wait, please." But he was already gone. Not the way people go when they walk away. The way a flame goes when the wind takes it. Instantly. Completely. Without trace. No footprints. No broken branches. No impression in the soft riverbank soil. Only the river. Moving. Constant. Keeping its ancient counsel. Amina, walking back to the village slowly, noticed Chief Adekunle was still standing near the river long after Babatunde had gone home. An old man who looked, in that moment, like he had finally run out of road.
What was the cloth you were holding? The torn piece you dropped when you saw him?
It belonged to Adekunle. I found it the night he died.
And Balogun came to you the next morning.
He told me Adekunle had fallen. An accident, he said.
Did you believe him?
No. I did not believe him, and he knew that I didn't.
Then why?
The gold. He showed me the gold. He told me my share. He told me the village would benefit, that nobody would know, that the only person who could dispute it was already...
You are the chief. You were supposed to protect us.
I know, and I know what I chose instead. There is no explanation I can give you, Amina. There is only what I did and what it cost all of us.
Amina looked at the man who had led her village for 2 decades, and she understood what her father had spent years understanding. Evil rarely looks the way stories say it does. It does not arrive with fire and fury. It arrives quietly, in a moment of weakness, wearing the face of justification. And once it enters, it never fully leaves. The village bell rang at midnight. Once, twice, 3 times. And every person in Ajanaku who heard it felt the same cold understanding. It was time. They came from their homes slowly, moving toward the square the way people move when they know something is ending. The Irako tree stood at the center, ancient and still. The moonlight fell exactly as it had in the memories. The square looked exactly as it had in the dreams. Then Balagan appeared. His rich clothing was creased, his jewelry gone, his face stripped of the charm it usually wore so effortlessly. What stood before the village now was simply a man, tired, frightened, at the end of something.
I have something to say. 25 years ago, Adekunle and I found gold together. Beneath the old hill. More than either of us had ever seen or imagined. He wanted to share it with everyone, with the whole village. He said it belonged to Ajanaku, not to us. I disagreed. The argument became something I cannot undo. I built everything you see, everything you ever respected me for, on the silence of a dead man. I buried your son beneath that hill. And then I came back to this village and smiled at you for 25 years. I chose wealth over friendship. I chose greed over loyalty. I chose myself. I am sorry. I know that changes nothing, but I am sorry.
For a long moment, the only sound in Ajanaku was the wind moving through the Irako tree. Then everything broke at once. Adekule's cousin, Adekunle, his face a map of 25 years of grief and unanswered questions, burst from the crowd and charged toward Balagan, shouting, "You murdered him, you buried him, and you smiled at his mother. You are evil." Balagan neither moved nor attempted to defend himself. Baba Femi and Amina tried to pull him back. Adekunle fought against their grip for a moment longer, his hands still locked in Balagan's clothing, his face twisted by 25 years of grief. Then the cloth slipped free. Balagan staggered backward, shaken, breathing hard, the certainty that had carried him through 25 years of silence suddenly gone, fear now plain on his face. For a brief moment, it seemed the confrontation was over. Adekunle stared at him, his chest rising and falling, his eyes burning with everything that could never be undone. Then he turned away, not because he had forgiven, not because he had found peace, but because there was nothing left to say. He pushed through the crowd and left the village square, carrying his grief with him. And something broke open in the crowd. Old pain becoming new violence. People shoved, shouted, families separated in the chaos. 25 years of buried grief erupting all at once, without wisdom, without restraint. Amina watched with a terrible feeling of recognition. This was what the stranger had warned about, the fear creating the very thing it had warned against. Then Baba Femi felt it. Not heard, not seen, felt, the way a man feels a shift in the air before the storm announces itself. A figure at the edge of the crowd, moving differently from the rest, not panicking, not shoving blindly, moving with the quiet, compressed intention of someone who had been waiting a very long time for this exact moment. The face was covered. Baba Femi's eyes traced the arm, the angle, the target. Balagan. But then, in the single heartbeat between the knife leaving the hand and the crowd shifting, Balagan stumbled, one step sideways, pulled by the chaos around him without knowing what was coming. And Amina was standing right next to him. Baba Femi stopped trying to identify the face. There was no more time for that. Baba Femi's eyes widened. Fear struck instantly. Amina. The name tore from him as he lunged forward, moving with the quiet certainty of a man who had already made his decision. As though he had known. As though from the very first night, when every soul in Ajanaku stood beneath the Irako tree and saw the body and the fallen walking stick and the knife in the red soil, he had understood something he never told his daughter. That the memory was never a warning. It was always a goodbye. The sound that followed was one Amina would hear for the rest of her life. A sound like something ending. The chaos stopped instantly. The shouting stopped. The entire square went still. The figure with the covered face dissolved back into the crowd and escaped unseen, swallowed completely by the same chaos that had given them their moment. Nobody saw the face. Nobody saw anything except what was happening beneath the Irako tree. The only person who had seen the figure, the only person who had tracked the movement, read the intention, traced the arm and the angle and the covered face, was already on the ground and would never speak again. The truth of who threw the knife died in the same moment Baba Femi chose his daughter over his own life. Buried, like so many truths in Ajanaku. Holding Baba Femi tightly in her arms, Amina struggled to hold back her tears as grief and panic overwhelmed her. Father, no. Stay with me. Please, please stay with me. Baba Femi rested against her, his voice soft and measured, each word carrying the weight of a lifetime. The future, he drew a slow breath, is a choice. His eyes lifted to the villagers gathered around them. The truth. A quiet pause followed. Sets us free. The sacred river glowed softly in the distance. Not brightly, not dramatically, just enough to be noticed. A soft silver light along the water, like a long breath finally, completely released. The light faded. The wind went still. And for the first time in many days, Ajanaku was truly, completely quiet. Not the quiet of fear. The quiet of something finally finished. Baba Femi closed his eyes and was gone. In the weeks that followed, Ajanaku changed. Not quickly, not easily, but honestly. Balagan was brought before the elders of 7 surrounding villages. He did not resist. He did not deny. He confessed everything, in full, without negotiation. As though after 25 years, the weight of the lie had become heavier than whatever punishment waited on the other side of the truth. Every piece of stolen land was returned. Every forged document was identified and destroyed. Every family that had been deprived was compensated. Chief Adekunle stood before the village and confessed his role without prompting. He stepped down from leadership that same day. Adekunle was buried properly, with ceremony, with song, with his mother's hands pressed against the earth above him. 25 years late. But finally, the strange collective memories never returned. The visions stopped. The fear disappeared. Life, slowly, haltingly, with the particular tenderness of a community that has survived something, began again. Amina buried her father beneath the Irako tree, his walking stick placed upright in the soil above him, his herbs planted around the grave, so that the things he had spent his life tending would continue to grow from the earth he returned to. Months passed. On a quiet evening, she returned to his hut to sort through the last of his belongings. As she moved the final shelf aside, she found a loose wooden panel in the wall. She opened it. The entries seemed ordinary at first. Herbal remedies, village observations, weather notes. Then she reached a page that stopped her cold. 5 words written across the top in her father's careful hand. If the memories begin again. Again. She turned the page with fingers that were not entirely steady. My grandfather witnessed them. He told me stories when I was a boy. He said the river sends these memories when a truth has been buried too long and the living have forgotten how to speak it. The oldest records I have found speak of this happening nearly 200 years ago, and before that, she found the final entry. 2 sentences. Every generation believes it is the first. Every generation learns it is not. Amina sat very still for a long time. Then she closed the journal, stood, walked outside. The evening sky above Ajanaku was a deep, burning amber. The Irako tree stood at the center of the village, patient and immovable. In the distance, the sacred river moved quietly in the last light. And for the briefest moment, the length of a single heartbeat, she saw a figure on the opposite bank. Standing very still, watching the village, watching her. A silhouette she recognized. Then it was gone. Only the river remained, moving. Amina smiled. The kind of smile that belongs to a person who has accepted that some questions are not meant to be answered, only carried. The people of Ajanaku buried their dead, returned what was stolen, and slowly, the way wounds heal that are cleaned properly, began to breathe again. But the river did not forget. Rivers never forget. They learned that tomorrow is not something that simply arrives. Tomorrow is something we create, in every choice we make, in every truth we speak, in every truth we bury. They learned that the dead do not haunt us out of malice. They haunt us because we have unfinished business with them. And the only way to put a ghost to rest is to complete what was left undone. And they learned, perhaps most importantly, that some forces in this world are older than the villages that sit beside them, older than the stories told about them, older than the names we give them. The river was here before Ajanaku. It will be here long after. And if the day ever comes when truth is buried again, when the powerful cover their crimes with silence, when the dead are forgotten before they are avenged, the river will remember. The memories will come. And a new generation will learn what every generation before them has learned. That the truth does not die. It only waits. That is the legend of the village that remembered tomorrow.